Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahāraja's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on April 11th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Vivachalam Pangung Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Caitanya Mishwaram.
Hare
Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We will continue with the compilation of the Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled as Mock Fight of Sri Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu.
চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত মধ্যনীলা 12.188 নিতাই ও অদ্বৈত পরস্পরের কৌতুক কলহ। অদ্বৈত নিত্যানন্দ বসিয়াছেন এক ঠাঞ্জি, দুই জনে ক্রিয়া কলহ লাগিল তথাই।
Sri Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu sat side by side, and when prasadam was being distributed, they engaged in a type of mock fighting. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.189.
অদ্বৈত কর্তৃক সূত্রপাত। অদ্বৈত কহে অবধূতের সঙ্গে এক পংক্তি, ভোজন করিল না জানি হবে কোন গতি।
First, Advaita Acharya said, I am sitting in line with an unknown mendicant, and because I am eating with him, I do not know what kind of destination is awaiting me.
So Advaita Acharya is saying this mock criticizing Nityananda Prabhu.
So Advaita Prabhu is doing this mock criticizing of Nityananda Prabhu,
so that they could enjoy having a kind of mock fight between each other.
so they can enjoy having a kind of mock fight between each other.
Actually, they love each other,
Actually, they love each other,
and it's just an excuse to have some discussion.
so this is just an excuse to have some discussion.
Advaita Acharya is taking the point of view of Smarta Brahman,
So Advaita Acharya is taking the point of view of a Smarta Brahman,
which he is not.
which he is not.
He's a Vaishnava.
He is a Vaishnava Brahmana.
Anyway,
Anyway,
this by some Smarta consideration,
by some Smarta consideration,
then Lord Nityananda is unknown mendicant.
then Lord Nityananda is unknown mendicant. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.190.
সন্ন্যাসীর অন্ন স্পর্শ দোষ নাই, প্রভু তো সন্ন্যাসী ওহার নাহি অপচয়, অন্ন দোষে সন্ন্যাসীর দোষ নাহি হয়।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the renounced order of life. Consequently, he does not recognize discrepancies. As a matter of fact, a sannyasi is not affected by eating food from anywhere and everywhere. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.191.
অন্ন দোষে নমস্করি এই শাস্ত্র প্রমাণ, আমি তো গৃহস্থ ব্রাহ্মণ আমার দোষ স্থান।
According to the Shastras, there is no discrepancy in a sannyasi's eating at another's house, but for a householder Brahmana, this kind of eating is faulty. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.192.
আপনাকে গৃহস্থ ব্রাহ্মণ বলিয়া অদ্বৈতের অলৌকিক স্মার্ত সমাজের আনুগত্য ছলনা। জন্মকুল শিলাচার না জানি যাহার, তার সঙ্গে এক পংক্তি বড় অনাচার।
It is not proper for householders to dine with those whose previous birth, family, character and behavior are unknown. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.193.
নিত্যানন্দের কেবলা অদ্বৈতবাদ গ্রহণ। নিত্যানন্দ কহে তুমি অদ্বৈত আচার্য, অদ্বৈত সিদ্ধান্তে বাধে শুদ্ধ ভক্তি কার্য।
Nityananda Prabhu immediately refuted Srila Advaita Acharya saying, "You are a teacher of impersonal monoism, and the monastic conclusion is a great hindrance to progressive pure devotional service."
Nityananda, since Advaita Acharya is taking the position of a Smarta Brahman,
So Lord Nityananda, since Advaita Acharya had taken the position of a Smarta Brahmin,
and he's saying that you're a personalist, that's a great hindrance to your devotional service.
you are an impersonalist, that is a great hindrance in pure devotional service. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.194.
নিত্যানন্দ কর্তৃক অদ্বৈতের নিন্দাচ্ছলে অদ্বৈত জ্ঞান মহিমা বর্ণন। তোমার সিদ্ধান্ত সঙ্গ করে যে জানে, এক বস্তু বিনাশে দ্বিতীয় নাহি মানে।
One who participates in your impersonal monistic philosophy does not accept anything but the one Brahman. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The impersonal monoist does not believe that God is the only object of worship and that living entities are eternal servants. According to the monoist, God and the devotee may be separate in material state, but when they are spiritually situated, there is no difference between them. This is called Advaita Siddhanta, the conclusion of the monoist. Monaists consider devotional service of the Lord to be material activity. Therefore, they consider such devotional activities to be the same as karma or fruitive activity. This monistic mistake is a great stumbling block on the road of devotional service. Actually, this discussion between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda was a mock fight to serve as a great instruction for all devotees. Sri Nityananda Prabhu wanted to point out that Advaita Acharya, a pure devotee, did not agree with the monastic conclusion. The conclusion of devotional service is, learned transcendentalists who know that the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Bhagavatam 1.2.11. Absolute knowledge consists of Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. This conclusion is not the same as the monoist. Srila Advaita Acharya was given the title of Acharya because he spread the Bhakti cult, not the philosophy of monoism. The true conclusion of Advaita Siddhanta, expressed in the very beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1.3, is not the same as the philosophy of the monist. Here Advaita Siddhanta means Advaya Gyan, or oneness in variety. Actually, Srila Nityananda Prabhu was praising Srila Advaita Acharya through friendly mock fighting. He was giving the Vaishnava conclusion in terms of Bhagavatam's conclusive words, Vadanti Tat Tattva Vidaha. This is also the conclusion of mantra of Chandogya Upanishad, Ekam Evaditiyam. A devotee knows that there is oneness in diversity. The mantras of the Shastras do not support the monistic conclusions of the impersonalists, nor does Vaishnava philosophy accept impersonalism without variety. Brahman is the greatest, he who includes everything, and that is oneness. Okay? As Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Matthav Parataram Nanyad, there is no one superior to Kṛṣṇa himself. He is the original substance because every category emanates from him. Thus, he is simultaneously one with and different from all other categories. The Lord is always engaged in variety of spiritual activities, but the monasteries cannot understand spiritual variety. The conclusion is that although the powerful and the power are one and the same, within the energy of the powerful there are varieties. In those varieties, there is distinction between the different parts of one's personal self, between the types of the same category and between the types of different categories. In other words, there is always variety in categories which is understood as knowledge, the knower and the knowable. Due to eternal existence of knowledge, the knower and the knowable devotees everywhere know that the eternal existence of the form, name, qualities, pastimes and entourage of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devotees never agree with the monist's preaching of oneness. Unless one adheres to the conception of the knower, the knowable and knowledge, there is no possibility of understanding spiritual variety. No one can taste the transcendental bliss of spiritual variety. The philosophy of monism is an adjustment of the Buddhist philosophy of voidism. In a mock fight with Sri Advaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu was refuting this type of monistic philosophy. Vaishnavas certainly accept Lord Kṛṣṇa as the ultimate one, and that which is without Kṛṣṇa is called Maya, or that which has no existence. External Maya is exhibited in two phases, Jiva Maya, the living entities, and Guna Maya, the material world. In the material world, there is Prakriti, material nature, and Pradhana, the ingredients for material nature. However, for one who becomes Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the distinction between material and spiritual varieties does not exist. An advanced devotee like Prahlad Maharaj sees everything as one, Kṛṣṇa. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kṛṣṇa graha grihitātmana veda jagad idrusham. One who is full in Kṛṣṇa consciousness does not distinguish between things material and spiritual. He takes everything to be related to Kṛṣṇa and therefore spiritual. By Advaya Gyan Darshan, Sri Advaita Acharya has glorified pure devotional service. Sri Nityananda Prabhu herein sarcastically condemns the philosophy of the impersonal monist and praises the correct non-dual philosophy of Sri Advaita Prabhu.
So, this mock fighting between Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu
between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu
is actually bringing out the problems with the impersonal philosophy.
It's actually bringing out the problems within the impersonal philosophy.
What the true Vaishnava philosophy is.
And what is the true Vaishnava philosophy is? Chaitanya Charitamrita 12.195.
অদ্বয় জ্ঞান বিরোধী জড়দ্বৈত জ্ঞানী বা মায়াবাদীর সঙ্গের নিষিদ্ধতা বিষয়ে ইঙ্গিত। হেন তোমার সঙ্গে মোর একত্রে ভজন, না জানি তোমার সঙ্গে কইছে হয় মন।
Nityananda Prabhu continued, "You are such a monoist, and now I am eating beside you. I do not know how my mind will be affected in this way." Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Bhagavad Gita 2.62. One develops his consciousness according to the society and association. As Srila Nityananda Prabhu admits, a devotee should be very careful when associating with those who are not devotees. When asked by a householder devotee what is the behavior of a devotee should be, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sanga Tyaga e Vaishnava Achar. A Vaishnava, a devotee, should simply discard intimate association with non-devotees. In his Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami has described the symptoms of an intimate relationship in this way. The words Bhunkte Bhojayate indicate that one should eat with devotees. One should carefully avoid eating food offered by non-devotees. Indeed, a devotee should be very strict in not accepting food from non-devotee, especially food prepared in restaurants or hotels or on airplanes. Sri Nityananda Prabhu's reference in this connection is meant to emphasize that one should avoid eating with Mayavadis and covert Mayavadis like the Sahaja Vaishnavas who are materially affected.
So, Advaita took the mock position of a modest, smarta Brahmin.
So, Advaita Acharya took a mock position of a monist Smarta Brahmin.
He was saying, I am taking my food to this unknown mendicant.
So, he was saying that I am taking my food with this unknown mendicant.
And then another was taking the position of pure Vaishnava. He was saying that I'm taking my food, my prasadam, with a Mayavadi.
So, Nityananda Prabhu taking the position of a Vaishnava, he is saying that I am taking my food with a Mayavadi.
What will be my destination? What will be my destination?
So, what would be my destination?
How will I be affected?
How will I be affected? Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.196.
নিন্দা ছলে প্রভুদয়ের পরস্পরের স্তুতি এই মতো দুইজনে করে বলা বলি ব্যাজ স্তুতি করে দুহে যেন গলা গলি
Thus, they both went on talking and praising one another. Although their praise appeared negative, for it appeared as if they exchanged ill names.
Actually, to glorify each other, but in a very subtle way.
So actually they were glorifying each other, but in a very subtle way.
So those who understood what they were saying,
Those who understood what they are saying
could understand that they were appreciating each other.
Could understand that they were appreciating each other. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.197.
প্রভুর সকল ভক্তকে মহাপ্রসাদ দান তবে প্রভু সর্ব বৈষ্ণবের নাম লইয়া মহাপ্রসাদ দেন মহা অমৃত সিঞ্চয়া
Thereafter, calling all the Vaishnavas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed Mahaprasadam as if sprinkling nectar. At that time, the mock fight between Advaita and Nityananda Prabhu became more and more delicious. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.198.
প্রসাদ সম্মানান্তে হরিধ্বনি দিয়া উত্থান ও আচমন ভজন করি ওঠে সবে হরিধ্বনি করি হরিধ্বনি উঠিল সব স্বর্গমর্ত ভরি
After taking their lunch, all the Vaishnavas stood up and chanted the holy name of Hari.
Haribol!
Haribol! And the resounding noise filled all the upper and lower planetary systems.
Since the name of the Lord is transcendental,
So since the name of the Lord is transcendental,
loud chanting of the Lord's names
the loud chanting of the Lord's names
could penetrate the whole universe,
could penetrate the whole universe,
up to the higher planets and lower planets.
up to the higher planets and lower planets. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.199.
ভক্তগণকে সহস্তে মাল্য চন্দন দান তবে মহাপ্রভু সব নিজ ভক্তগণে সবাকারে শ্রীহস্তে দিলা মাল্য চন্দনে
After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered flower garlands and sandalwood pulp to all his devoted personal associates.
Lord Chaitanya was distributing this garlands and sandalwood pulp
So Lord Chaitanya was distributing his garlands and sandalwood pulp
to all the intimate associates.
to all the intimate associates. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 12.200.
স্বরূপাদি সপ্ত পরিবেশকের সর্বশেষে প্রসাদ প্রাপ্তি তবে পরিবেশক স্বরূপাদি 7 জন গৃহের ভিতরে কইল প্রসাদ ভোজন।
The 7 persons headed by Swarup Damodar, who were engaged in distributing prasadam to others, then took their meals within the room.
Some very advanced devotees engaged in serving the prasadam.
So those were the very advanced devotees who were engaged in the serving of the prasadam.
After they had served everyone,
So after they have served everyone,
they took their lunch privately.
they took their lunch privately. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 12.201.
গোবিন্দের সাহায্যে হরিদাসের প্রভু ভুক্ত শেষ প্রাপ্তি। প্রভুর অবশেষ গোবিন্দ রাখিল ধরিয়া, সেই অন্ন হরিদাসে কিছু দিল লইয়া।
Govinda saved some remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and kept them carefully. Later, one portion of these remnants was delivered to Haridas Thakur.
Jayapatākā got some remnants from Lord Chaitanya's plate.
So Haridas Thakur got some remnants from Lord Chaitanya's plate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 12.202.
গোবিন্দের সর্বশেষ প্রভিশিষ্ট প্রাপ্তি। ভক্তগণ গোবিন্দ পাশ কিছু মাগি নিল, সেই প্রসাদ অন্ন গোবিন্দ আপনি পাইল।
The remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were later distributed among devotees who begged for them, and finally Govinda personally took the last remnants.
গুণ্ডিচা মার্জর নীলারি নামান্তর ধোয়া পাখালা লীলা। স্বতন্ত্র ঈশ্বর প্রভু করে নানা খেলা, ধোয়া পাখালা নাম কইল এই এক লীলা।
The fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead performs various types of pastimes. The pastime of washing and cleansing the Guṇḍicā temple is but one of them.
The highest perfection of human life is to be participating in the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So the highest perfection of the human life is to be participating in the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
These pastimes being displayed by Lord Caitanya and Jagannath Puri.
So these pastimes were being displayed by Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri.
The cleaning of the Guṇḍicā temple,
The cleaning of the Guṇḍicā temple,
the cleaning of the Narasimha temple,
the cleaning of the Narasimha temple,
the taking of the prasadam with the devotees,
and giving out garlands and sandalwood pulp
and giving out garlands and sandalwood pulp
and prasadam.
So many pastimes.
So many pastimes.
So we're very blessed to hear these pastimes.
So we are very blessed to hear these pastimes.
Not just this. Hearing the pastimes and associating with the Lord.
There is no difference between hearing the pastimes and associating with the Lord.
How Lord Nityananda and Advaita were also associated with each other.
So how Lord Nityananda and Lord Advaita were associating with each other.
You can have a glimpse at the unlimited variety of Vaishnava Sangha.
So you can have a glimpse of the unlimited varieties of Vaishnava Sangha. Thus ends the chapter entitled Mock Fight of Sri Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.